Hey Michael, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your dress position, let's take a look at your posture. We can see that your spine's nice and straight and on a tilt. It's a little too vertical. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Your arms hang in quite tight to you, and then your forearms sort of work away a little bit, still pretty tight to you, and then the golf club works out to the ball. So if I were going to work on your golf game, we would revise your posture here. We would throw your tail out and up, move your sternum out, up, and forward. And what that's going to do, it's just going to increase the angle to your spine here. Okay. From there, your legs can stay unlocked exactly as they are. Your arms can then hang down nice and naturally and slightly in front of you, and then let the golf club work out to the ball. So ultimately what that's going to do, aside from just changing the angles of your spine and the relationship of your arms with a club, it's going to position you further away from the golf ball. And this will give you a lot more freedom to swing the golf club and certainly pass through impact. I just feel like you're going to be really jammed at impact, almost like a batter. If he were standing pretty much against home plate, how's he going to get the barrel of the bat on the ball, kind of thing. So just looking at this position, you look like you're standing just too close to the ball. You're certainly too tall, and then the arms are obviously very congested to your core. Your alignment looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and just do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. Got some color-coded lines on the screen just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. But before we get into that, let's just quickly take a look at his posture that I was talking about. His spine's certainly on more of an angle. Arms are hands definitely further away from his thighs, and he's definitely further away from the golf ball. So that's sort of what I was getting at. As we take a look at the golf swing, simply want to draw the golf club back by turning the shoulders, bringing the arms and hands back as well as the club. We want to see the club coming back on plane directly along the red line. Also in the early stages of the golf swing, we want to incorporate some good wrist hinge into play, which means we want to transition the club head currently from below and in front of our hands to getting that club head above and behind our hands. This is a very important move in the transition during the takeaway. From here, we're going to work the golf club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we either want to have the left arm and the golf club situated on the yellow line, anywhere in between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue, as we see with Jordan Spieth. We also want full shoulder rotation. We want to do this about a very stable right leg, all the while maintaining the posture axis that we achieved with our spine at address, and that's why it's very important to set the posture correctly to begin with. And so I'm just going to point this out again. We're going to take a look at his spine. His spine's sitting here probably at about 52 degrees or so, and if we go back down to address, he's basically in that exact same position, and he rotates off of that axis. Okay, so when you're making your backswing, unfortunately you're going to be swinging off an axis that's is just too tall. Let's go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here. Draw your hands back nicely, turning your shoulders. Hands and arms obviously have a tendency of pulling the club a little bit inside and underneath the swing plane. Nothing too exaggerated there. As long as we get some wrist hinge into play, club head moves above and behind your hand, so that's pretty solid right there. And then we work this golf club up to the top. We can see when you get to the top of your backswing, you have good shoulder rotation, stable right side. You do set your arms quite shallow. That just means that your left arm's considerably below the yellow line. So at this point in time, I'd like to see your arms getting set just a little bit more steep, and at least get your arm up a little closer to that yellow line. But nonetheless, again, turn is good. Maintaining the posture that you did create at address. Right leg's nice and stable. Things look pretty decent here. Okay, as we create our transition back in the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left. Want to fire the knees and the hips laterally to the target. Unwind the core and fire the hands. And in doing so, we want to make sure we're bringing the golf club from the blue-yellow V zone back down onto red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we can see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club is returning back to plane. And this right here is a main criteria in producing straight golf shots. Imperative that the golf club returns back to plane. The other thing this does for us too is it allows us to create a lot of power because we're retaining angles. So I look at this here and refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands. So he's also not only going to hit the ball straight, but he's going to create a lot of power in his golf swing. Let's go ahead and watch you create your transition from this shallow set position. And we can see here you drop your hands and arms very nicely. And the great thing here is that you know, between your lead forearm and your golf club, you have your backwards check mark. So creating some power in your golf swing won't be an issue. The other great thing is your golf club has returned back to plane, which I would have anticipated having been set so shallow. As Jordan comes into the golf ball, what we're going to see though is his club's going to come into the ball directly from this red line. And as I stated, this is what produces straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming that, you know, the club face squares up via having a good grip. With you, because you were set so shallow, I suspect that the club's probably going to fall underneath the plane here in the next frame. So let's go to the next frame. Yeah, so it's a little bit underneath, actually, not as much as I thought it would be. So no issues right there. Go to the next frame. So that club is coming into the ball from a very, very good swing plane. So what that means is it means you have the ability to hit the ball straight in accordance to your alignment. And I had stated right from the get-go that your alignment was good. So you should be able to hit a straight golf shot, assuming that the club face squares up at impact. So let's just take a look at the club face. Looks like the club face did a pretty good job there squaring up. It's definitely not staying open. Might have closed a little bit. And as it comes through, looks like the ball's starting out at a pretty good, yeah, it is starting a little bit left. So in accordance to the center of the fairway. So your club face was probably a little bit closed at impact there. The ball's starting a little bit left, and it probably will go a little further left on you just because it has right to left spin. I want to look at your impact position. I want to pay a little bit of attention to your right foot. It's flat on the ground. So look at Jordan Spieth. His right heel's off the ground even before he makes contact with the ball. And then watch the continued activity in this right foot as he comes through the golf shot. So he gets right up off his right heel onto his toe of his right foot. This gets our weight to our left side. This allows the hips to square around, shoulders to fully rotate and get to a finish. So this is something you want to incorporate in your golf swing. Learn how to create proper footwork through to your finish, because right now there's no footwork happening at all. And it's really a pretty simple thing to do, right? We're at the top of the backswing, weight's being stored on the right foot. We swing through. Okay, let's come off our right heel, get up on our toe of our right foot, get the weight on the left side. So learn to create that footwork in your golf swing. The other thing too, just quickly looking at, I can look at a couple different areas of your golf swing. Might as well just look at it right here. One of the things you also need to do is you need to improve your grip. Right now you have a split-handed grip, so your hands are not connected. And I have a feeling that your right hand grip, not a feeling, I can see it, is too strong. So it's like you're holding the golf club like it's a hockey stick or a baseball bat. And golf is very different from those sports whereby we put the golf club in our fingers. We want to create a trigger finger with our right index finger. Right now your right hand grip's too strong. As it comes in the ball, that's going to close the club face, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing that the club face is closing due to the fact of the right hand. Can't really see whether or not your left or your right hand is weak or strong, but definitely the right hand is definitely strong and will probably cause that club face to close. Little recap. I mean, overall, you got some really nice athleticism here. I mean, your hands work great. They come back. They fire through. Your core works well. You coil. You uncoil. Again, you need that better footwork to carry you through to a better finish, so you're standing on your left side when you're done and you're not falling back. Before we start the golf swing, definitely have to change your posture and your distance away from the ball. Okay, so refer to the beginning of this video a few times. You definitely have to get yourself into that better starting position, and it'll let your athleticism right here be able to shine through, because right now you're just too close to the golf ball, and it's causing this jamming look for sure. So if you set that posture better, the distance away from the ball, it'll just let some better things happen. At that point in time, you know, let's improve the grip And then the reality is, I mean, your aim's good, your downswing plane is good. We would like to obviously set your arms a little bit more steep here if I were working on your golf game. Then bring that club down on plane, and then with a good grip, club face will be square all the time, and you'll be producing nice straight golf shots, and everything will look great as we carry ourselves through to a better finish now with better footwork. Okay, so a lot of potential here from you. Again, super nice athletic golf swing, but you got to match that up with better posture, better distance away from the ball, better grip, better set position at the top of the swing, and certainly better footwork through to the finishing position. Okay? Anyways, at any point in time you ever want to work on any of these aspects of your golf game, I'm located over Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to touch base. Be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, hope you had a fabulous day, and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video.